Welcome to Shake and Bake Racing, and today we'll be learning how to essentially stop a lot of bad mistakes. And what we will do today is focus on how to keep the car glued to the ground, and when to apply brake pressure and when not to, when to get on the throttle and how to kind of control it. So when you go into a corner that's very easy to mess up, whether it be by braking a little too late or stepping on the throttle a little bit too soon and the back end coming out, what happens is a lot of times we don't visualize what's about to happen and how the car is going to react. We just think it's a video game and put the pedal to the metal, and what happens is we end up with a lot of mistakes. And to eliminate these mistakes, we've got to understand what unsettles the car, such as going over curbs or going over a crest or going downhill. The weight of the car varies in these games. They're not like the game's olden days where it didn't matter. Today, when you go over a crest and you apply too much pressure, that back end will get loose. Or when you're going down a hill and into a curve and you apply too much gas pedal, you will spin out. It's because all the weight is in the wrong places for your car to do that. And you keep thinking, well, I suck, but in reality, you're just not paying enough attention to what the car will do, and it's a very easy fix. You think that it's never gonna materialize of you achieving that lap time that you want to set, but learning to think ahead and apply the gas and the brake and watch the back end, it'll really improve your time, so you won't be sliding out or going too deep. When you practice, you want to make sure you're practicing with an actual purpose. You don't want to just try to go as fast as possible. You want to learn the corners first. You want to learn the braking spots. You want to learn what the car is going to do if you apply too much pressure in a certain area and you spin out. You want to make sure that you're focusing on all the things that an actual race car driver would focus on. Because to set these fast times, you have to understand a little bit more than you think you do. It's not just hold the pedal down to the ground and hope for the best. You have to put a lot of time and effort in it. You've got to work on your braking. So essentially, the things that I focus on when practicing are brake control, learning how to trail brake properly, making sure that I'm not holding the brake too long, and also learning when the best place to turn in is, as well as the amount of throttle pressure that I can add through a corner and still stay on line. Because too many people think, well, if I'm going 90 miles an hour around this corner and I'm sticking to the inside where I should be, I can go 95 and just run a little bit wide. But what will happen is you'll have to readjust if you're not careful, and it'll cost you a lot of time. So just practicing with a purpose will help a lot. Also, knowing your car is very, very important. Knowing if it's front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. Knowing that it'll stick to the pavement when going around a corner, or knowing that you can brake at this point and knowing that it will stop is very important to set fast times. Too many people when racing, I experience it every time I get in a daily race, is you'll see them brake at one point at the, let's say, the 100-meter board the first lap. Then when they're a second behind you, they'll brake at the 90 and go deep. And they think that, I'm assuming they think that if they brake a little bit later, they'll gain a little bit of time. But in reality, if you want to set fast lap times, you want to make sure you're picking the optimal braking point every time and not trying to rush things or try to make things happen that won't. This lap, what I was doing, I was just actually trying to set a good lap, and one of the things that I focus on when setting a good lap is just being smooth with my brake pressure and my gas pedal. And I have a G29 Logitech steering wheel, so it makes it a little bit easier than a controller. And what happens is I saw a significant difference when I got it, but even before I had the steering wheel, I was working on making sure when I was coming out of corners I accelerated smoothly, and I was starting to watch videos on how to make the car turn better or what unsettled a car. And once you try to actually analyze the car as a race car driver would, you'll improve your times greatly. And watching others to see what they do as opposed to just making mistake after mistake is very important when trying to improve your times and trying to win races. So hopefully today my rambling helps you a little bit. And always like and subscribe and go fast.